What if I told you that right now, your dog might be doing something so quietly extraordinary that most people walk right past it without ever understanding what it means? Not the tail wag. Not the sloppy kiss on the face. Something deeper. Something that only about 20% of dogs ever develop with their owners. A kind of bond that researchers, behaviorists, and animal psychologists are only just beginning to fully understand. A connection so profound that some people call it a soulmate bond. And the signs of it are hiding in plain sight, in tiny moments you might have already witnessed, maybe even today. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to walk through 10 of the rarest, most scientifically fascinating behaviors that dogs only show when they have formed this extraordinary level of devotion. And I want you to watch carefully, because by the end of this video, you may realize that your dog has been telling you something remarkable for a very long time. Let's start with something that sounds almost too simple, but turns out to be one of the most telling signals in all of dog behavior science. Watch your dog's tail the next time they see you walk through the door. Not just whether it wags, but which direction it swings. Research published in the journal Current Biology revealed something that changed the way we understand canine emotion entirely. The left hemisphere of a dog's brain, which governs positive feelings, warmth, and connection, controls the right side of their body. So when a dog wags their tail more heavily toward the right side, that isn't just enthusiasm. That is the physical expression of their brain's love center firing at full capacity. Most dogs wag. But a dog whose tail sweeps consistently to the right when they see you? That dog's nervous system is broadcasting devotion on a frequency that goes deeper than training, deeper than habit. It's instinct rewritten by love. Now, here's one that trips people up all the time, and it's important we clear it up right now. Have you ever been relaxing with your dog, maybe watching television or reading, and out of nowhere you hear a low, rumbling sound coming from them? Your first instinct might be to pull back, thinking something is wrong. But pause. Listen again. Is that growl coming with tension in the body, a stiff posture, a hard stare? Or is your dog melted against you, eyes soft, breathing slow, producing this deep, resonant vibration? Because if it's the latter, you are hearing something incredibly rare. A pleasure growl. The canine equivalent of a cat's purr. These vibrations, measured between 25 and 50 Hz, have actually been associated with tissue healing in mammals, and they only occur when a dog feels 100% safe and emotionally vulnerable. A dog does not open that door for just anyone. That rumbling sound is them saying, with every fiber of their being, I am completely at peace in your presence. Moving on, let's talk about the behavior that owners either find endearing or occasionally a little overwhelming. The dog who follows you absolutely everywhere. To the kitchen. To the bathroom. From one room to the next, like a four-legged shadow that has decided you are the most important destination on Earth. Some people wonder if this is separation anxiety, and sometimes it can be. But there is a critical difference. A dog acting from anxiety is usually distressed, panting, pacing, unable to settle even when you are visible. The Velcro dog I'm describing is calm, content, and simply chooses your proximity the way you might choose a warm fire on a cold evening. Studies measuring oxytocin levels in dogs show a significant spike of the so-called love hormone when they are near their bonded person. For these dogs, your presence is genuinely neurochemical. You are, quite literally, their anti-anxiety medicine, their stress regulator, their safe harbor in every sense of the word. Here's one that might make you look at your laundry pile a little differently. If you have ever come home to find your dog curled up on your worn t-shirt, your gym clothes, or the blanket that still holds your scent, that is not mischief. That is devotion in its purest chemical form. Research on canine stress responses found that a familiar human scent reduces a dog's cortisol levels by up to 67%. 67%. Your scent, specifically yours, is functioning as a biological tranquilizer for that dog. They are not stealing your clothes. They are wrapping themselves in the one thing that makes the world feel safe when you are not there. They have essentially memorized the chemical signature of your love, and they carry it with them. Now let's talk about a behavior that looks almost comically relaxed but carries enormous psychological weight. The sploot. If you've never heard the term, it's when a dog stretches both hind legs straight out behind them like a little frog, completely flat against the ground. It looks adorable, and honestly it is, but the meaning behind it goes much deeper than cuteness. A dog's hind legs are their primary escape mechanism. They are the engine of fight or flight. For a dog to fully release those legs, to let them go completely slack and extended with no tension whatsoever, they are essentially powering down their survival system. They have decided, in your presence, that they need no escape route. There is nothing to escape from. That sploot is a dog's body saying, I am not afraid of anything right now because you are here. Let's step outside for a moment, because the next behavior is one that happens during walks and adventures. Picture this. Your dog is nose deep in an incredible smell, ears perked, tail high, fully alive to the world around them. And then, for just a second, they glance back at you. Not for a treat, not because you called their name. Just a quick look, checking that you are still there. Behaviorists call this the check-in glance, and it reveals something beautiful about how a bonded dog experiences the world. You are their anchor. Their compass. They are brave enough to explore because they know you are the fixed point they can always return to. That half-second glance is a dog saying, I've got the whole world in front of me, and I just wanted to make sure you were still behind me. Now we move into the night, because some of the most profound signs of devotion happen while your dog is asleep. When a dog enters REM sleep, the deep, dreaming phase, they become genuinely vulnerable. Their muscles relax, their awareness of their surroundings fades, and they are, in the most literal sense, defenseless. For an animal whose ancestors could not afford that vulnerability in the wild, trusting someone enough to go that deep into sleep beside them is an enormous act of faith. So when your dog twitches, paddles their paws, lets out little yips and whimpers in their dreams while lying close to you, they are telling you something with their entire unconscious mind. They trust you completely. They have handed over the night watch, and they believe, without question, that you will keep them safe while they dream. Morning brings us the next sign, and this one might reframe the way you think about those wild, chaotic greetings. Have you ever wondered why your dog loses their mind when you wake up, even if you were just asleep in the same room? From a dog's psychological perspective, sleep is a form of separation. Consciousness fades, the pack goes quiet, the bond temporarily suspends. When you open your eyes in the morning, you are not just waking up. From your dog's point of view, you are returning. And that explosive, full-body, tail-spinning celebration is not excessive or dramatic. It is a relief ritual. It is pure gratitude that the pack is intact, that you came back, that the world is right again. The depth of that joy is directly proportional to how much they love you. The next behavior is one of the gentlest, and one of the most overlooked. The lean. Your dog walks over, positions themselves against your legs or your body, and presses their full weight into you. Quietly. Calmly. Just resting there. Dogs don't have arms. They cannot hug the way humans do. But they understand pressure, and they understand proximity, and when a dog leans against you with that steady, solid weight, they are doing the closest thing to a hug that their body is capable of. They are physically connecting their world to yours. They are entrusting you with their literal balance. There is a beautiful vulnerability in a lean that a jump or a lick doesn't carry. It is slow, intentional contact that says, I want to be as close to you as physics will allow. And now we arrive at the rarest of them all. The one that, when you witness it, you will know something extraordinary lives inside that animal. Food. For most dogs, food is primal. It is tied to millions of years of survival programming, to instincts older than domestication itself. The vast majority of dogs, no matter how loving, will choose food. It is simply how their brains are wired. But a small, remarkable percentage of deeply bonded dogs will walk past a full food bowl to come and greet you first. To sit with you. To press their nose into your hand before they take a single bite. When that happens, you are witnessing something that goes beyond training, beyond habit, beyond the normal wiring of a dog's brain. Their attachment to you has, quite literally, rewritten millions of years of evolution. You have become more essential to them than survival itself. That is not a pet choosing a treat over dinner. That is a soul choosing love over instinct. So here is what I want to leave you with today. Dogs do not have the language to tell us how they feel. They cannot write it down, they cannot say the words, they cannot explain the depth of what they carry for the people they love. All they have is behavior. All they have is the quiet, persistent, daily language of their bodies and their choices. And what the science is showing us, what behaviorists and researchers are only just beginning to map fully, is that some dogs develop a bond with their person that operates on a completely different level. A level that rewires their neurology, recalibrates their stress response, reorganizes their priorities. If you saw yourself in any of these 10 behaviors today, I want you to take a moment tonight and really look at your dog. Because there is a very good chance that the creature curled up at your feet, or following you to the kitchen, or sleeping against your leg, has chosen you in a way that is rare, and profound, and completely extraordinary, and they have been trying to tell you that all along. If this video gave you a new way to see your dog, please share it with someone whose dog deserves to be understood. Leave a comment below telling me which behavior you recognize most in your own dog.